What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Devin, and I hope that you will consider sticking around and subscribing. If you're not new, as always, welcome back. You know I love you. Hi, Napa girl. Come here, baby.
We say hi, and Napa also says hi to everybody, and welcome back. And I hope you subscribe so my mommy can buy me more tweets. Okay, let's get into the video.
All right, let's get serious. If you clicked on this video, it's because you wanted to see some new drugstore makeup. So here it is. This is an Ulta bag inside a brown paper bag from CVS, which is, I guess, is what we're doing now. Inside a plastic giant grocery bag because I got so much makeup from CVS that it ripped right through the bag as soon as I walked out of the store, and I had to carry this brown bag out to the car with me like a baby so that the makeup didn't spill everywhere. We have a full face of new-ish drugstore makeup, everything that I could find in my local CVS. So if you are interested in just doing a full face and yapping about some makeup, then let's get into that right now. All right, so I think we're just gonna say goodbye to this brown paper bag and just let everything spill out into this plastic bag at this point. Here we go. Here is the receipt minus a bunch of coupons. I have like $30 in CVS cash or whatever they call it after this order, so I did cut those off the bottom, but we've got work to do. Let's see. I have two things here that we can use as primers. So I think this is the one that I am leaning towards. This is the Maybelline Grippy Serum. 2% niacinamide makeup grip primer, extends makeup wear for 24 hours, ultra blendable, plump skin look, no white cast, no greasy feel, does not pill, non-comedogenic. Okay, lots of promises, sounds exactly like the type of product that I need at this point in my life. I am 31 and I can't figure out what my skin does and doesn't want, but it's been wanting a lot more hydration than it has ever in my life from growing up being like an oily, acne prone kind of combo skin girl. I don't know, we're drying out in our old age, but anyway, I love something grippy, I love something juicy, I just love to plump up the skin. I think that also comes with being a makeup artist too. No matter what, you just want juicy skin underneath makeup. And then the other thing that I have is the e.l.f. Sun Touchable Whoa Glow in the shade Sunbeam, which is a sheer peach shimmer. I swear I had one of these when I lived in Florida and I can't remember how I felt about it or why I may have gotten rid of it, or maybe it got lost in the move, I'm not sure. This is supposed to be sun protection and also a makeup primer. SPF can be finicky under makeup, so I don't know that I want to combine these. I feel like it's possible that that was my idea, was to maybe put the SPF on earlier when I finished my skincare routine and then put this on later. I don't think we're gonna do that. So we'll put this aside. I did get a lot of makeup here, so it's possible that I could potentially do like more than one drugstore video with some of this stuff. Anyway, also do not look at my nails. They are ugly, and just look away, please. They need to be redone. All right, Maybelline Grippy Serum. Let's go. It's not thick at all. Feels very thin. Well, that feels very nice. I can feel the grip, but it is definitely more of a serum-y texture as opposed to like the e.l.f. gripping primer or the Milk one that is like sticky. This is not as sticky as that. I feel like maybe if the e.l.f. primer is too sticky for you and we end up liking this could be another option for you. Gosh, yeah, that does feel really nice. Yum. Love that. Okay. Ooh, while it's absorbing, I feel some grip. It almost like gets stickier as you let it sit. Okay, let's see. Apparently I also got this. I think maybe I thought that this was the tinted, I don't know what I was doing. Why did I buy 3 primers? I'm not really sure why I did that, and I'm not really sure why I bought 3 SPFs. I lost my mind. I don't know, when I'm shopping for makeup, I lose it a little bit, so whatever. Oh, and I got these e.l.f. bronzing drops too. We are definitely gonna have to do multiple videos, but hey, that works out in our favor. Next, I am so excited to try out this foundation. I will say this shade selection at my local CVS was slim pickings. I did my normal thing. I bought a lighter and a darker. I do self-tan. I am not self-tanned right now. This is pretty much my natural skin tone, but I like to have 2 shades of my foundation at all times so I can mix them and customize the shade to match whatever I've got going on at that moment. I've heard nothing but good things, so I am so excited. This is the Super Stay Lumi Matte Foundation. I got the shades 118 and 322. Shake well before use, up to 30-hour wear. I don't know why that's like a marketing thing. Don't wear your foundation for 30 hours, please don't. Long-lasting, luminous matte finish, buildable, airy coverage, breathable feel, resists sweat and transfer. Sounds like my kind of girl. Sounds like my kind of girl. So I do think this 118 shade is gonna be a little light for me. But again, it just, the shade range was slim pickings at my local CVS, and I went to the CVS specifically because I had like a 20 or 30% off coupon. Actually, I feel like that did oxidize a little bit, but that actually is decent. Okay, yeah, after giving that a second to dry down, I do feel like that color is going to work for me. That's good to know. I feel like it's pretty normal for foundations to oxidize, especially drugstore. So as far as the coverage, I would agree that it is medium. Didn't it say medium buildable, right? Yeah, buildable, airy coverage. Honestly, I agree with that. It feels very light on the skin, but I do feel like it's covering. I really am not a light coverage girl at all. I just have realized that that's just like not my vibe. Anyway, definitely not a ton of glow to it, but also it's not flat. Now granted, I like to use a lot of foundation. I am not usually like a one pump of foundation girl, and I probably have used like 3 or 4 so far. You guys, this is nice, and I think I'm especially gonna like this for like a luminous summer glowy look that isn't like oily as the weather gets warmer. So hopes are high. Hopes are high. Okay, so next up I have 2 of these skin enhancer sticks from CoverGirl. So I have the Contour Balm in the shade Sculpted, and then I have the Blush Balm in the shade Nude Flush. So we're gonna do contour first. I also just realized that I have not been telling you guys what things cost. So I'm gonna go based off of the prices on Ulta. I feel like the prices tend to be a little bit lower at Ulta than they do at CVS for like these drugstore makeup products. So I'm just gonna go based on Ulta because honestly that's where I would normally shop if I didn't have a coupon. So this contour balm, again the shade Sculpted, described as a soft brown. Weightless balm is ultra blendable, buildable, and glides on effortlessly. Natural sculpt, healthy flush, or dewy natural glow. Easy to control, mistake proof, easy application. Doesn't crease or cake with 0 harsh lines. This is $12.99 at Ulta. This primer serum is also $12.99 at Ulta. And then the Lumi Matte Foundation is $14.99. Okay, I will try to remember that as we go throughout, but you guys probably know if you watched my last drugstore video, I will probably forget several times. So I'm gonna go ahead and just draw this on. So I'm gonna look straight into my mirror, and I'm just gonna try to follow my cheekbone as much as possible, going on top of the cheekbone. I like to sculpt especially on the sides of my forehead. This is actually pretty cool tone, so I should probably tread lightly here. I'm used to using more of like a cream bronzer product for this. So that being said, let's really hit the double chin with some shadow. That didn't exist in my 20s and popped up out of nowhere. Love that for me. And now I'm just gonna start blending that out. Honestly, I am not certain that I'm liking this. To me, this is just a little bit too like ashy. This is like a little too gray for me. And I actually don't feel like I'm having a super easy time blending it. I'm not in love. I don't love the shade. I don't feel like this looks very good. It's just gray. It's just too gray. Let's give this blush a try. Again, this is the Blush Balm from CoverGirl. So like same concept, same formula in the shade Nude Flush. I really like this color. This is a very like my speed kind of blush. I tend to go for something that's a little bit less like crazy pink and a little bit more neutral, rosy, a little bit warmer. So I have decent hopes for this despite the fact that I didn't love this contour shade. So I'm just gonna get a generous amount on that. I feel like this is like a balm stick, so I do feel like you kind of have to warm it up. It's just funny doing my own makeup versus how I do clients because because I feel like I'm so much more just like careful and precise when I'm doing my clients' makeup, and when I do my own, I'm like so much messier. Like I just don't care. I'm like, whatever, just slap it on there. Okay, I'm almost wondering if these would potentially be better blended out with a sponge versus a brush. Even try, honestly, I'm gonna try using my fingers. I don't know what I'm wanting more of from these exactly. I like can't put my finger on it. Do I want more pigment? I don't know. That's pretty pigmented. I guess there's just something about these. Maybe I'm just not used to using this type of formula. I'm not sure. Something about it I'm not loving. But I do like this blush color. And as you may have guessed, this is also $12.99 at Ulta, so same price. Not shocking. Next we have this. Now I'm not sure how new this is. I feel like this has been around for a bit. No, but it is new to me. This is the Maybelline Super Stay Concealer, Super Stay Activewear, it says. I got the shade 15. Interesting. I'm not seeing this on Ulta. I'm seeing it on Amazon. I'm seeing it on sale at Walmart for $6.99. And I'm seeing CVS is saying $12.49. Interesting that it's not at Ulta though. Let's just go on the Maybelline website then and see what the claims are for this. Delivers up to 30-hour wear. Again, please don't wear your makeup for 30 hours. Full coverage matte look that feels like skin. For a dramatic transformation, use this long-lasting concealer that resists transfer. Lightweight formula, does not crease or feel cakey. Okay. Everybody loves that word cakey. If you're a makeup artist, you hate that word, but everybody loves to use that word cakey, don't they? Here's the applicator. Knowing that this is full coverage, I'm going to tread lightly. In person, it looks pretty bright in the viewfinder. In person, I'm wondering if this is gonna be brightening enough for me without a tan, but we'll find out. It is an interesting formula. Like it feels lightweight. It reminds me of that one that I tried in my last testing drugstore makeup video, the L'Oreal one. And honestly, I really have not gone back to that concealer very much. And I will say this foundation did dry down pretty matte the longer it's on my skin. So again, I think this is something that I'm probably gonna love in the summer, but might feel a little dry right now. This is looking pretty nice. I agree that it's a lightweight formula. I agree that it's got some coverage to it. Is it like super full coverage? Yeah, maybe. But I think maybe it's just like, it's not a thick full coverage formula. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish blending this out. Okay, I mean, I feel like the makeup is starting to make up, right? We're starting to look good. However, I've been using all brushes to blend because I did forget to wash my sponge and wet it. So I'm gonna grab my beauty blender and wash it because I do feel like I just wanna blend over top of all of this with a sponge to just make it a little bit more seamless. So I'll be right back. Without powder, we're still looking pretty matte. In person, I don't know, I feel like I just looked in the bathroom mirror when I was watching my sponge and I was like, I look pretty mattified. But so far, we don't look bad. So let's keep going. So I have two setting powders here. One is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. I have definitely tried this before. So I picked this up to retry it. I haven't tried the e.l.f. Loose Powder in a couple years. But then when I was on my way to the register, I saw this from Wet n Wild with a little new sticker on it. And their Photo Focus Setting Powder, again, is not a new formula. I have used this so much in the past, just like their regular translucent powder. And I do feel like I liked it. So some of these are like throwbacks for me, but this is in a new pink shade. And so I thought we could test this out for under the eyes and then use this translucent powder for just all over the face. I believe this is just, oh no, this isn't translucent, it's labeled as light. So let's do the pink powder first. And I'm just gonna dump this out into the cap. It looks very finely milled. It is pretty pink. Not like overpowering, but it's definitely pink. So hopefully we get some good brightening. And once again, I actually am not seeing this on Ulta, but I am seeing it Target for $6.69, Walmart for $6.64, CVS for $8.29. Cool. So let's give it a try. I'm just picking that up on the back of my beauty blender. And honestly, like I said, I'm already feeling pretty matte. So I'm just using a light layer. And again, I'm only gonna use this pink powder for underneath the eyes. Okay, what do we think? I feel like, in person, I feel like I can see a difference. I'm hoping it's reading on the viewfinder. We look a little brightened. We definitely look smoothed. But yeah, this is nice. It feels smooth and it doesn't feel overly heavy. It so far isn't caking up and it's not like overly pink either. I'm just gonna get that under the other eye. And I'm not really going for a bake, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take a brush and immediately dust that away. I mean, no complaints. Obviously, we're gonna have to see how it wears, but as far as how that goes on immediately under the eyes, I think that looks really nice. And then this e.l.f. setting powder is at Ulta. It's $8 and it looks like it comes in this shade light. It also comes in a light pink and then it also comes in a medium shade. All right, so it's got like a little twisty thing here. So I just got a little bit of that in the cap. I'm gonna swirl my brush around. I'm just gonna use that to set my face. Okay, dang, you guys, I didn't get a bronzer, like a true bronzer. I am just like itching for some warmth on my skin right now. So I'm just really quick gonna grab my NYX matte bronzer. This is in the shade Deep Tan, and I'm gonna try lightly because this is more of like a bronzer shade that I use when I myself am tan. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of that on a fluffy brush, and this is just gonna give me a little more of the warmth that I'm looking for. I feel like that's a little better. I feel like you might not even be able to tell on camera, but I feel a little bit more like myself with that. All right, let's move on. I am about to break out another classic drugstore product, and if you are from the 2016-2017 makeup era, this is gonna be so nostalgic for you because it's nostalgic for me, and that is why I bought this. Because I didn't really find like a new drugstore highlighter. I feel like brands are not like coming out with highlighters like they did back in the day. You know, we are gonna use Miss Precious Petals from Wet n Wild. This is one of their Mega Glow highlighters, and when I was doing my little CVS haul, I could not resist. This took me straight back to the beginning of really diving in and discovering my love for makeup, starting this channel with my sister back in the day. Like, this is just a very nostalgic product for me, and it's really good, especially if you like highlighter. It is a nice blinding highlight. So I am just gonna use the old school highlighter brush too, the Morphe M510. This probably is from that era. I've had this that long, this brush. Not a new product, not new to me, but something that I have not had in my collection in years, so I could not resist it when I was looking for a highlighter for this full face. I mean, yeah, she still slaps. I still love her. So beautiful. I try not to go as hard with it as I maybe would have back in the day. But I've always loved highlighter. Like, highlighter has never gone out of style for me. And it looks like on Ulta, these are currently on sale. I'm getting kind of a mixed, it looks like the regular price is $6.99, but right now they're on sale for like $4 or $5. Next, we have another OG Fit Me product for blush. So this is the shade 50 Wine in the Maybelline Fit Me blush. So this is just kind of like your standard powder blush. I have never tried this blush formula, but I can't imagine that it would suck. Based on how I feel about the other Maybelline products. So here she is. It's giving me kind of like NARS vibes. There is a little bit of a sheen to it, and it's just like that beautiful glowy warm blush. So let's just go ahead and pop this right on the cheeks. I mean, yeah, pretty pigmented. There is definitely like a little subtle glow, kind of blends in with the highlighter and enhances, but it's not like glittery, it's not highlightery. It's just something you can kind of notice subtly when you turn your head from side to side. Yeah, I like this. I think the blush is saving this look for me because I really didn't like the contour. So I feel like the blush is still giving me like the pop on the cheekbones and the lift on the cheekbones that I want, even though I'm not loving the shadow underneath. Before we move on, I do want to give myself a nice spray of setting spray now that we're done with all of the creams and the powders and everything's been set. So again, a classic. This is another thing that I was obsessed with like years ago. They changed the packaging and I think they made this more of like a misty setting spray versus like the old one definitely like shot you in the face with setting spray. But I just remember really loving this and really loving the smell of this. So I feel like once I spray this, the smell is going to be nostalgic for me and take me back. But anyway, this says it is supposed to lock in a dewy glow with this coconut infused formula that helps give your makeup lasting power while hydrating the skin. And it does say to shake it well. So basically I'm just gonna use this to try to absorb some of the powderiness, bring a little glow back. Everything is laying pretty matte right now, which again, I like, but we want some life. So kind of get that going, yeah. The smell, so nostalgic. I love it so much. It smells like summer. It smells like the beach, which is just like my heart and soul is the summer and the beach. They definitely improved that mister though, I will say. I kind of just doused myself in it, so I am gonna take my sponge and just press that in so that we're not getting like little splotches from the spray all over. Yeah, I feel like my skin already looks less powdery just from spraying that. It's so nice. And again, let me tell you how much it is because it's e.l.f. so I can't imagine that it is expensive. $10. Go get it. This is not a first impression because I already know that I like this. And go get it. All right, let's get some brows on. So I actually have two to choose from. So I have the Maybelline Build-A-Brow in the shade Black Brown, which is more of like it's a brow pen and a gel. So it's like a dual-ended type of deal. I'm a little wary of brow pens, but I've heard good things. So there's that. And then I got the NYX Blade and Shade Nano Brow Mechanical Pencil. So let's start with this. I got this in the shade Black. I am very familiar, at least with NYX's like color range, and I love their micro brow pencil, so I'm assuming that I will love this for that reason. Cool packaging. I like the lime green, but I think this is supposed to, okay, so like you twist it up and it's very like skinny on the one side, but then you kind of have like a flat surface on this side. Looks like it's got a little dusty dust on it. Looking more white than black. Oh no, I just broke the tip. Well, that was really dumb of me. I was trying to like gently scrape off the like white powderiness around it and I broke the tip. So we're just gonna go ahead and try it without messing it up any further. But yeah, I think this is just supposed to be more of like an innovative tip, like application tip, and it's just supposed to allow you to like get a little bit more precise. Other than that, I would assume that I'm going to like the formula because I would assume it's probably not that different from the micro brow, which to me is a good thing because I like the micro brow. I'm just outlining my brows, and actually I kind of stand corrected. First impression, I might like this formula a little bit better than the micro brow because it's a little bit, dare I say, it's a little bit more dry, but not in a bad way, like in a more controllable way. Whereas sometimes I feel like with the micro brow, again, I love it, tried and true, I keep them in my kit. It is emollient, so sometimes I feel like it can slip around a little bit when I'm trying to be precise. So I do feel like because this formula is a little bit more dry, it allows you to be a little bit more precise and have more control over where you're placing the product. Yeah, I think I really like this, you guys. Okay, at this point, I'm gonna do my other brow off of camera and then I'll come back. Okay, I mean, I am impressed with that. First impression, I really like that, especially, look at this brow, this is my better brow. The brow looks pretty good, right? So I think I am gonna break out this Build-A-Brow just for the gel. So this is in the shade Black Brown, and it's supposed to give you like the hair-like stroke. So I guess I could try this kind of in my little sparse areas as well. Because my brows are so dark and thick naturally, the few times that I've tried a brow pen in the past, it's been a disaster. But that being said, this is a really tiny, fine tip. So this might actually work out in my favor. We'll see. Like, see how teeny tiny those strokes are? And being black brown, this is actually a little bit lighter than I thought it was gonna be. So I don't know, let's just try. Let's go, it's really like in here where I need it. I bought this because I feel like I've heard such good things about it. I feel like people really like it, but I feel like people generally have more sparse brows than I do. So my fear is always just like doing too much. But honestly, I feel like I could work with this. Okay, not terrible. I'm just just gonna run the gel through my brows as well. The gel itself, it doesn't feel super crunchy. It feels pretty lightweight. The only thing is, because of the coarseness of my brows, sometimes I feel like I need a crunchy brow gel to really keep them in place. Especially when I put my hair down, my hair tends to like make the corners of my brows droop. But if you're somebody that doesn't like a super heavy brow gel and your brows aren't maybe as coarse as mine, I feel like this would do a good job at like brushing up and holding in fine brow hairs in place a little bit better. So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, my brows look pretty good, I think. And let me tell you how much each of these cost. So Maybelline Build-A-Brow is $14.99 at Ulta. And then the NYX Brow Blade and Shade Nano Brow Pencil is $12. And it looks like it comes in all of the normal colors that their other brow products come in. So love. Okay, happy about those. Okay, so let's do mascara. Before I put mascara on, I am gonna powder my eyelids with a little bit of translucent powder. I always do this. My eyelids can be a little bit oily, especially after spraying with setting spray. I typically like to spray my makeup with setting spray and then do my mascara, just so that I give my makeup less of a chance to have like my mascara run, you know, by adding moisture. So I just give it a little dusting of either translucent or pressed powder, whatever I have laying around, and then that just helps my mascara to not transfer. And for mascara today, we are going to do the Lash Sensational Sky High Waterproof. Is this new? I don't think this is new. I think I might have thought, who just came out with a new mascara? I think L'Oreal, that looks similar to this, that's new. I think I might have thought this was that. That's okay. I've heard great things about this Sky High mascara. What I'm curious about is that whether or not it's gonna be volumizing enough for me. I like volume and length with my mascara. And my eyelashes also grow like straight out, so I do have to curl them, and I do need a mascara that's not gonna weigh them down. So that is kind of the criteria for a good mascara for me. Is it waterproof? Do my lashes stay curled? Does it transfer? Does it lengthen and also volumize without getting chunky? So we're gonna find out. So I always like to curl one eye, then do my mascara when my eyelashes are freshly curled, and then curl the other eye and then do mascara. I feel like everybody knows about this mascara, but let's just talk about it. So it says it is our first mascara made for full volume and authentic length. Okay, I got mine in the shade Berry Black. No clumping, smudging, or flaking, up to 24-hour wear. Okay, it's not a fiber brush, it is like a silicone brush. So let's see. You know what this gives me? You guys ever seen the Benefit Bad Gal Bang mascara? The brush of this gives me those vibes. All right, I mean, I like the first coat. Get a little closer so you guys can see. We're fluffy, we're curled, we're not super clumpy, not super voluminous yet, but I am gonna go in with a second coat. Oh, this is nice, you guys. This is nice. I am pleasantly surprised. I was not sure if I was gonna like this. So again, take a look at the difference in my two eyes. This is 2 coats of mascara. We look pretty good. We're gonna give it a few minutes to see if they fall, but I'm gonna go ahead and do my other eye and I'll be right back. All right. You guys, this is 2 coats of mascara on the top and then 1 coat on the bottom lashes. I think I might be in love. And so far, so good in terms of it holding the curl. I feel like it's still drying on this eye, which is the second eye that I did, but on the first eye, we're still open, we're still awake, we're still lifted. I'm impressed. I really like that. That is another win for this video. And it looks like this is currently marked down at Ulta as well for $9, but the regular price is $12.99. Now, for lips, this is what's in my Ulta bag. I bought these just like randomly on a random Ulta trip with my sister and my mom, but I bought 3 of the L'Oreal Plump Ambition Hyaluron Lip Oils. I bought 3 shades of those. I probably was planning on doing swatches maybe or something like that. And then I did buy 2 more shades of the Maybelline Lifter Lip Liners because I did like this formula so much from like my last drugstore video. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't seen very many lip products launched at the drugstore this year yet. Oh, I also did forget, I did get lipsticks as well. So I got 2 of the classic L'Oreal Color Reach lipsticks, and I feel like these are like kind of iconic shades. They like stuck out in my memory when I was searching through the lipsticks at the drugstore. Again, I haven't seen a lot of new lip launches, but I do feel like these are a classic formula. So I got the shade Toasted Almond and I also got the shade Fairest Nude. So we're gonna pick a lip liner color. I'm gonna swatch these for you. I'm gonna swatch these for you. I can even swatch the glosses if we want, and then we can kind of decide from there what we wanna do. First, we have the shade On It from the Maybelline Lifter Liner Collection. This is like a nice brownie nude liner. Gorgeous. Yep, love that. I'm gonna use that a ton. It gives me iconic nude vibes from Charlotte Tilbury. Great like lip contour shade if you're going for a really glam lipstick. Then I got the shade Out of Line, which I think is gonna be more of like a rosy, warm rosy lip liner. Yeah, beautiful. So this kind of gives me like almost MAC Whirl vibes, you know, like a Your Lips But Better kind of shade. And then these lip liners do retail for $9.99 at Ulta. Can't beat it. Such a gorgeous formula. I do really like those, so I'm excited to try out these shades. So then let's go into these lipsticks. So again, this is the shade Fairest Nude from L'Oreal from their classic Color Riche collection. Stunning, beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love it. Kind of a sheer formula, but just like a fuss-free nude, you know? Like a go-to, just don't even have to think about it. That's kind of what I picture for this. Okay, and then this is the shade Toasted Almond, which I think is gonna be a little warmer. Honestly, a really pretty like fall nude. I actually, honestly, kind of expected that to be a little bit more brown and a little less orange, so we'll see about that. I feel like this is definitely not a spring color for me. It's more of like a fall. And it looks like these Color Riche lipsticks are $11.49. It's an interesting price, but $11.49 at Ulta. And then we have these L'Oreal Plump Ambition glosses. So I have the shade Milky New, I have the shade Nude Macron, and then I have this pretty red called Rouge in Love. So there's Milky New. Oh, they smell really nice. They're like vanilla-y. Ooh, this is pigmented. This would actually be really pretty over that Toasted Almond, I think. This is the shade Nude Macron. I like that a lot. That's pretty. Very pretty. And then, of course, we have the red. Ooh, it's like a pinky watermelon-y red. Honestly, it's like more pink. It's got a lot of blue in it, you know? So there's that last one. Beautiful. And then these guys are $13.99, again, from L'Oreal at Ulta. Okay, so I think I'm feeling this shade Out of Line. So I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips with that. Pretty. I like that color a lot. And then I am just gonna feather this in just on the outer corners. I want to leave space in the middle for the lipstick, but I do just want to like fade and have that definition in the outer corner. So then like when we put a lighter color and when we put the gloss in the center, it just makes our lips look really juicy and plump, which we love. Probably not a shock, but I think I'm gonna go for Fairest Nude in this Color Riche collection. Gonna get that all over. Yeah, that's so pretty. Honestly, very bridal. I might need to start a second lip palette and put this in my kit because this is stunning. Wow. Very comfy. I love that. I love that color. Obsessed. Okay. All right. And then I think the correct choice in this situation is to take the shade Milky New because this is just a very like nice pinky nude. So I feel like something sheer like this will be the perfect ending to this. Oh yeah. That looks so nice. A little bit minty, like subtle mintiness, subtle tingle, nothing painful, nothing crazy, nothing that feels wild. I do feel like it's building a little bit as I'm wearing it, but overall very comfortable. All right, my friends, just giving the hair a little fluff here. I would consider myself pretty dang happy with this makeup. And honestly, this is a very, like, this is what I would consider my version of everyday makeup. I definitely have some like clear winners and probably one clear loser, which we all can probably guess. So let's just go through that right now. Let's do a top 3 based on first impressions of things that were completely new to me in this haul. I think I'm really gonna end up loving this grippy primer. It was very juicy on the skin. It definitely had a grip to it. It was sticky, it wasn't overly sticky. As I mentioned in the beginning, I do feel like it went on very serumy and then almost kind of like increased its stick as it kind of sat on the skin. None of the makeup is bunching up on top of it. I like it. I really, really, really like it. The other thing that is really standing out for me on my face right now is this blush combo. I do feel like this, I liked it better blended out with my fingers than with a brush. I also think if maybe I had blended it out with my sponge, I would have maybe liked the application a little bit better. But as this sat on my skin, it came through even after setting it with powder over top. It held its own. Sometimes blushes like can get really covered up and go really muted when you powder over top of them, but I am not somebody that cannot powder. I have to powder. So I love a cream blush that really holds its own underneath of a translucent powder or a pressed powder. So I'm impressed with this. And then this on top of it, this like beautiful glow that I have to my cheeks. Spoiler alert, this is the loser of the video. Because I'm not impressed with this, because I feel like I can do without this, the blush is really what is bringing this look home for me and giving me the look that I want on my cheekbones without feeling like the makeup is a total disaster. So go get it. I feel like I'm gonna use this all the time. Like this might be a new everyday blush. This might be a new everyday combo for me, honestly. So I would just say be prepared for this to not be as this is not as manipulatable. This is not as easy to manipulate as like a cream blush, like the e.l.f. cream blushes or something like that. This is more of a harder formula for lack of a better term, but this grew on me. This grew on me because I think it looks really good right now. I'm counting that combo as like 2, so let's pick one more thing. Gosh, I feel like I want to say it's the foundation. I have high hopes for this. This did go on a little bit dry even with this underneath of it. That being said, the way it looks with this setting spray on top of it, like it looks perfect right now. I'm not shiny, but I am not powdery, I am not cakey. Like this is a very beautiful satin natural finish on my skin right now. Who doesn't love a good drugstore foundation? Okay, I know I said top 3, but as I'm sitting here talking about it, I feel like I just have more to talk about. This Ferris Nude from the color Riche, Run Don't Walk. If you love a nude lip, you need this. It's beautiful. And I feel like it will pair so well with so many different lip liners. It would go with more of a pink. It would go with more of a brown. I just feel like this is a stunning lipstick to have in your collection. I'm not kidding. It is very bridal and I do feel like I might go buy another one of these to put in my professional kit. My first impression is that good. I really like this. I honestly don't know what I was doing trying to pick a top 3 because there are so many good products. Like really the only thing I didn't like was this, and I feel like I don't need to beat a dead horse unless you love a really cool toned contour. But if you like a bronzer moment, if you're contouring with cream bronzer like most of us, I don't think you're gonna like that. The mascara, beautiful. I can't wait to use this more. My lashes are still curled. They're not falling, which means that the mascara isn't too heavy for my lashes. So I love it. The brow products, this very well might replace my NYX Micro Brow as my favorite NYX brow pencil. I can't wait to play around with this more. Very precise. I personally felt like I had more control over it. Just really impressed with that. And then this, I'm like cautiously optimistic about this Build-A-Brow. I do feel like there is a place for this in my like brow routine. I do feel like I was really able to bring the inner part of my brow in closer to my nose, like kind of to where if I go like this to try to map out my brow, it's actually coming into the spot where it should be. I'm impressed. I kind of, I'm having a good time right now. And then lastly, I'm so excited that I bought this and like rediscovered it. This is that girl. If you need a dewy powder absorbing setting spray from the drugstore, as long as you're not like allergic to coconut or anything, I absolutely would get this. Run, don't walk. This is the reason my makeup looks perfect. I'm telling you, when I first had the foundation and the concealer on, I felt like I was looking a little bit dry. And then when I sprayed this, I was nervous that this was gonna maybe break the makeup apart, go a little patchy, dry weird in different places. We are snatched. It looks so good. I feel like if I went out in public right now, I would get like the, oh my gosh, your makeup looks so good. You know what I mean? You know how you just see people's makeup sometimes and you're just like, that just looks perfect and beautiful. That's how I feel like my skin looks right now. And I do feel like it's not just this and it's not just this, it's like the combination of the two of them. So I love her. I love her. I'm so glad we're back together. It just goes to show, like, you do not have to spend a lot of money to have your makeup look good. I love it. I'm a professional makeup artist. I love to have the bougie stuff in my kit especially. And for myself, I love to treat myself to like the higher end makeup. But like, is there anything better than your makeup looking this good and not breaking the bank? I don't think so. All right, I'm done. All right, so that is gonna be it for this drugstore video. If you're still here, if you haven't clicked off from my rambling, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave if you haven't already so you don't miss any future uploads from me. You can also follow me on Instagram. I am at glambydevyng on Instagram and TikTok. Those two pages are a lot more focused towards my client work, so you can see a lot of the makeup that I do on my bridal clients as well. And you'll see me, that's where I hang out in between YouTube videos, so you'll see a little bit of me there as well. But with that, I'm gonna go get something to eat and I will catch you guys in my next one. Mwah. Love you. Bye.